What the fluff is going on, y'all? Welcome to the first official episode of the What the Fluff podcast. I'm going to be doing an intro video to explain who I am and all that stuff for those of you who don't know. And I just wanted to get right into what I wanted to talk about today. So what the fluff are we talking about? We're talking about difficult conversations. And the main reason why I wanted to talk about this was I have had a couple conversations on my mind that I've needed to have, but out of fear of upsetting the other person or assuming what might happen, I haven't been having them. And so I've been feeling so much anxiety the last few days. And it was finally this morning that I sent one of the messages that I had to, and it relieved so much stress. So I thought we'd take a quick little dive into why some of these conversations are so hard to have. And for those of you who don't know, I have a cat. So if you guys see a little fur ball run cross, cue that. That's what's going on. So difficult conversations. Why are they so difficult? I was trying to think about it, and I feel like there's three main reasons. One, we're worried about how the other person's going to feel. As someone who's dealt and has been continuously working through codependency, when I discovered how codependent I was, or realized how codependent I was a year and a half ago or so, what someone who's codependent does is we put the needs of everyone else before us. We, in terms of the fact that we don't want to make anyone feel bad, to the detriment of our own mental health and what we actually want. And this manifested in my long-term relationship of 2.5 years, where I broke up with her essentially out of nowhere because I couldn't muster up the courage to tell her about the things that were bothering me, because the last thing I wanted her to do was feel sad. But then why am I making myself sad then? And then I'm not truly happy. And then that leads to the second part, which is you can't change something you don't know about, right? So if you are dealing with a partner and maybe they make jokes about something that you're insecure about, you know that those jokes make them happy. You know that they're funny, but they don't sit right with you. But because you love this person, you want this person to be happy, you don't want this person to feel X, Y, or Z, you let it go. You sit there, you take it. But over the course of time, you get more and more anxious whenever that happens. You get more and more upset until maybe you just blow up. And then that person's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What? Where did this come from? And you're like, it's been bothering me this whole time. Okay, bring it up. Say it. The longer you're holding on to something like this, the harder and harder it's going to be. And it either will eventually lead to you driving yourself crazy, or it's going to lead to a blow up like this. So that's the second part. The third part is the expectation of how you think it might go. So, for example, I had to send a difficult business message. I was having issues with the timeliness and communication that was going on with something that I needed for my work. And so I was sitting there, I had the message written, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, okay, if I hit send, what if he's going to be mad? What if he's going to yell at me? What if he's going to take these messages and throw them over the internet and call me a bad person? Oh my God, I better screen record the entire message just in case that happens, so that I have the proof to show everyone that I'm a good person. And then you go down this road of anxiety that is so unnecessary, because you want to know what happened when I sent the message? The person replied, no worries, man. I completely understand. So for a week, 2 weeks, I've been holding on to this anxiety, fearing this person's reaction, fearing that they're not going to like me, fearing that there's going to be some severe repercussion, to which when you're dealing with people, there might be. I'm not saying that this is always going to be an easy thing. Being accountable for yourself and being honest and having open and honest communication with people isn't easy. But at the end of the day, it makes you so much happier, so much freer, because you're being true to yourself. You're being honest with what you want and what you're expecting out of another person. And one thing that I'm going to explain in the other videos is that these aren't going to be edited. These are going to be random. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things. These might be 5 minutes. They might be 27 minutes. They might be an hour long. But it's going to be whatever the fluff is on my mind. So I know this is a little shorter, but that's what I wanted to put out there. And we're going to go over more about my struggles and my learning and growing from codependency. We're going to be going over boundaries. We're going to be going over so many different things. The basis of this was the difficult conversation and why they can be difficult. So what I would like to impose onto you, if you guys would like to try, is have the difficult conversation. When something is bothering you, if something comes up, talk about it in the moment. Talk about it in the moment. And it's so much harder when you're an empathetic person, because if you don't give a shit about people, you're going to be able to say whatever you feel like. And honestly, it might not always be right and might not actually be in a way that's constructive and helpful to the relationship. But as someone who's empathetic, as someone who does care about people and wants people to be happy and doesn't want anyone to feel less than, it's important to also make sure that you are not making yourself feel less than, that you're being true and honest to yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you lay down, of course, unless you have a significant other, then you're laying next to someone and blah, 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 good for you. But it's just you. And if you're not happy, if you're not being true to yourself, then you're not going to actually find your real happiness and live the best life that you possibly can. So I hope this ended up making sense. I'm going to watch it back and see if it does. Probably should write some more shit down beforehand, but I do like talking off the cuff and I like seeing what pops in my brain. So yeah, if you're feeling a certain way about something, bring it up, right? You aren't responsible for how that other person reacts. You don't have to go through this whirlwind of expectations of what you think might happen or anything like that. All you can do is be true to yourself, speak your truth, and hope that that other person can see that. Because yeah, they might be sad or they might feel some certain way, but if that person loves and cares about you, respects you, they're going to also understand that it's going to be for the best, and that at the end of the day, both of you are going to be able to grow by having that conversation. So this has been the first episode of What the Fluff. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that like, hit the comment, feel free to sub, and let me know what difficult conversation you had to have this week. All right. Not sure how consistent or when we're going to be posting these, but if you sub, you're going to know whenever they go live. All right. So thank you guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful day and you can do this. All right. Catch you guys on the next one.